Hi, I'm Janelle Evans, co-founder of Strategic Interactions, and I specialize in helping high achievers become extraordinary leaders. And in this video, I want to share with you how important having a high EQ is for every leader who wants to be effective and as successful as possible. And as I record this video, it's mid-April 2021, and we have so much going on in the American workplace for sure. We have a kind of a hybrid situation going on with some companies asking employees to come back to the office and other companies delaying the return indefinitely. And this is creating what we're calling the next normal in the workplace. And there's a lot of sorting out that is happening and is creating a lot of churn and a lot of stress as people are trying to figure it out. And leaders are having to step up to figure this transition out. And so to succeed at managing the conflicts and the challenges that are inherent in such transitions, leaders are going to need to rely on their emotional and social intelligence, more than ever, right? And so they need to rely on that so they can stay calm and they can focus and be productive and help their team members be able to do the same. So I want you to stick around to the end of this video, because if you're watching this, there was something that you obviously were interested in about emotional intelligence. And I have a gift for you at the end of this video. So you don't even have to take any notes if you're listening to this, because I have you all taken care of by the end of the video. So let's talk about what EQ really is. Again, it's about using our emotions intelligently, right? So I'm going to use a definition that I really like, and it comes from Korn Ferry, Daniel Goleman, and Richard Boyatzis, who've worked together for years doing research and creating a lot of amazing tools that I'll talk about in this video. But here's their definition. Emotional and social intelligence is the capacity for recognizing our own feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves, and for managing emotions effectively in ourselves and in others. It describes the behaviors that sustain people in challenging roles or as their careers become more demanding, and it captures the qualities that help people deal effectively with change. I think that definition is just perfect for the times that we are living in right now, right? It says, emotions just influence everything, our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors. And how well leaders truly understand that and how they manage their own emotions directly impacts their performance and the performance of their team members. And while it's expected that leaders to be in that position have a high IQ, the most successful leaders have not only a high IQ, but also a high EQ. Now, EQ is the abbreviation for emotional quotient, which is a measure of one's emotional and social intelligence. Again, leaders need EQ more than ever to effectively inspire their team members, to influence and motivate them, especially when so many teams are still working virtually or in hybrid office environments, which is creating its own dynamics about having an in-group and an out-group, and where that frequency of face-to-face interactions is very, very limited. Leaders with high EQ, they're just able to recognize and understand emotions in themselves and also in others. They use that high level of awareness to better manage their emotions, and it influences their communications and certainly has an impact on their relationships. So having a high EQ and a high IQ is what distinguishes extraordinary leaders from average. So the good news is EQ is not something that just a fortunate few are born with, but rather a set of skills that can be learned, right? And developed over time through training, through feedback, through practice and coaching. And it's just so important. So leaders who develop the 4 EQ skills of self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management are perceived as being more effective. They're perceived as being achievement-oriented people and more successful than leaders without those 4 EQ skills. They not only stand out, but they get more opportunities for promotions, higher pay, and real support from their team members when everybody's hunkered down trying to get work done virtually or in person or a hybrid combination. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to spot a leader. Like, these are people who have that calming and upbeat, trusting personality that people just really enjoy and really want to be around. They attract people to them like a magnet, because they have those exceptional relationship management skills. These are people that know how to manage even difficult people in the office, right? They're often seen as someone who influences and inspires others to be their best. These are the people that everybody wants to be their coach and mentor. So according to the company Talent Smart, EQ is the strongest predictor of one's performance. It accounts for 90% of what sets high performers apart from peers with similar technical skills and knowledge. In a survey by Career Builder, I found 71% of employers indicated that they valued EQ over IQ because employees with high EQ are more likely to stay calm under pressure, resolve conflicts effectively, and respond to coworkers with empathy. And those are the things that we really, really need leaders to do, particularly right now and beyond. So, look, guys, there are many EQ models available to people like myself who work with people to help them develop their EQ. But I'm going to share one in this video with you that I think is fantastic. It's research-based and it's easy to understand. And it's called the ESCI model, and that stands for the Emotional and Social Intelligence Inventory, again, by Korn Ferry. And I know Daniel Goleman and Richard Boyatzis all work together on that. Now, here's again those 4 core EQ skills. I want you to get these. Again, you don't have to write anything down. I've got you covered. But those 4 core EQ skills, you think of them as big categories of skills: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management, because those are the big 4. Now, within those 4, the researchers of this model developed 12 EQ competencies, or strengths, as I like to call them, that if you want to be considered to be emotionally intelligent, you have to have strength in these competencies. Now, the truth is that some jobs will require say 4 or 5 of these skills more than the others. But if you have a baseline strength level in all of them, you would be considered to be emotionally intelligent. And this can be measured, and I'll get back to that. So let me share with you what those 12 competencies are. Now, I won't have time to go into detail in this video, but you'll have an idea of what they are. And you'll recognize, and the very first one is emotional self-awareness. Second one, achievement-oriented. The third one, adaptability. 4, emotional self-control. 5, positive outlook. 6, empathy. 7, organizational awareness. 8, conflict management. 9, coaching and mentoring. 10, influence. 11, inspirational leadership. And 12, teamwork. So those are the 12 areas that if you take the ESCI inventory, it would actually give you a rating and would tell you where are you on a scale of having low, medium, or high strength in that competency, right? So let me share with you, again, these 12 competencies. The good news is, and the 4 skills, they're behavioral. So that means they can be developed, again, with awareness and training and feedback and practice and coaching. So a certified EQ coach can be your ally who helps you achieve your EQ developmental goals faster and more effectively. Now, one of the most efficient and effective ways to develop your EQ, again, is to take this baseline, use this ESCI inventory, as I call it. It's a 360-degree feedback survey. So, and it's administered by someone who's trained as an EQ coach, and because then they know how to debrief you on it and to help you transfer that knowledge into a really great developmental plan so that you really focus only on which of the 12 strengths you need to develop. Because the truth is, you may be very strong in half of them already. So you don't want to waste time developing things you're already really good at. You want to focus on the things that you know are getting in your way. Maybe you need to be better at managing conflict, or maybe you want to be more empathetic, as an example. So when you take a survey like that, you get feedback, not only your perceptions, but you get feedback from people who know you because you decide who's going to give you that feedback. So now reading books is great about emotional intelligence, EQ, fantastic. Um, Taking online courses, great. It really increases your knowledge about EQ. But neither of those experiences will provide you the feedback, the real data that tells you how you see yourself and how others perceive you when it comes to those 12 competencies, those 12 strengths in those 4 skill areas. So you miss all of that if you don't have sort of that baseline that you get from taking the ESCI data or any particular EQ. I'm just mentioning that one because I know it's valid if you get that information. So if you don't have high EQ, it can be costing you. It can be costing you big time. So, what has gotten you to be at the level that you are in your career so far may not be what is going to help you go to the next level and the next level and the next level in your career. You may need different skills. You may need much more emotional intelligence. So, organizations from corporations to nonprofits will prioritize always hiring somebody with a high EQ who can inspire and motivate others to achieve big goals. While we're particularly now as we're trying to figure out the next normal, as I called it. So to succeed now at being a very effective leader today, you have to have a high level of emotional intelligence, EQ, so you can manage conflicts, you can facilitate relationships more easily with virtual employees, maybe continuing on here for a while with the virtual world. And you also want to be able to, as a leader, create and sustain a culture that helps everyone feel valued, respected, included, and heard, right? So, so important. So let me share a quote with you from the Center for Creative Leadership. And here it is. 75% of careers are derailed for reasons related to emotional competencies, including inability to handle interpersonal problems, unsatisfactory team leadership during time of difficulty or conflict, or inability to adapt to change or elicit trust. So if you have high emotional intelligence, you can do all of those things. You won't be in that 75% of careers being derailed by not having it. So it's really, really important. So when you think about investing time and resources into developing your EQ strengths, it's going to come back to you tenfold. It's going to help you stand out if you're in a competitive situation for a new career or new job. It's going to help you handle adversity. It's going to help you manage stress and conflict with others, and so many more things that you'll be able to do. And I always like to say, if you can handle things that are on your desk so much more easily, that are a normal part of being a leader, that's going to give you more time to do what you love to do, to be with your family, to travel, to do things that help you have that work-life balance that we all strive to have. So again, the good news is that we can all learn how to develop our EQ. And I work with clients every week, helping them go from here to here with their EQ strengths. Like I said, maybe they're really strong in 8, 9, 10 of them, but there are 2 areas they want to develop that could be really keeping them from having more opportunities and being to be as effective as possible. So the best way to do this, again, is to be able to practice your new EQ skills in real workplace situations and get immediate feedback from someone like myself who's trained to teach EQ skills. If this is of interest to you, you can contact me and I can share with you how I do this work with leaders all the time. And my contact information is located in the video description right here. You can send me an email, we can set up a call. Now, let me get to the thing that I promised you. So, I have put together everything that I've shared in this video in a very concise and as simple as I could make it ebook. And it's a free e-guide that you can get if you just go to this link, www.JenellEvans, JenellEvans .com/hashtag free hyphen ebook. That's it. So if you go to that link, you can download an ebook. I think it's about 25 pages. And I put this ebook together because I wanted something almost like a primer for people to say, look, I've gotten feedback. I'm told I need to be a better coach, or need to handle conflict, or need to be more adaptable, whatever one of maybe those 12 areas are that I shared with you. And I don't know where to start. This will help you. So please go and download that and read it. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Again, my email, all of that's listed in the ebook. So thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful. And here's to becoming as emotionally intelligent as possible. Take care.